Hello again, everyone, and welcome. I am Gary Godsoe. Welcome to Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR. Well, it's Milwaukee weekend here for the Velocity Online Racing Leagues. Today, we are bringing the ICONIC Series to the Mile Oval here at just inside of the fairgrounds here and at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds. The Milwaukee Mile, and we're currently underway for qualifying. This is for the Milwaukee 175 here at the Mile. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Klendy. Klendy, welcome to the Mile here in Milwaukee. Have you had your bratwurst and cheese and beer yet?
Well, I don't drink, but cheese curds are definitely on the menu. When in Wisconsin, do as the Wisconsinites do.
Yeah, except the drinking bit. I've kind of taken it back to that as well, but I am all for cheese curds and a bratwurst. But at a place where we know that we can put on the poundage, eating a lot of unhealthy food, we're watching a place that they can definitely put on a good high-speed 1 mile oval action here, as we're watching Julian right now currently underway here under qualifying for the Milwaukee 175.
You know if the teams put their drivers on a diet when they go somewhere delicious, Gary? It's like, no, you can't have a brat. No, you can't have cheese curds. No, you can't have deep-fried Oreos.
They're not jockeys. I guess, I guess if you do eat too much, that will impact weight. And then we see O'Sullivan.
Not in the sim.
Not in the sim. Doesn't matter at the sim, right. And O'Sullivan currently...
Yeah, and that time that O'Sullivan put down is about the same as what he did in practice. The only one to break the 21-second barrier. Yeah, Gary Lovern right on it.
172 flat. He's the only driver in the 172 range. Once again, here are all the weather conditions. 66 degrees ambient, 79 degrees track temperature. And from the reconnaissance that you've done, Klendy, this is going to be a fun race to watch, you're saying, with this setup.
It should be. And series director and weather controller Julian Altena says that it's only going to get cooler as the day goes on. So look for the high line, second lane, and second and a half lane to really come in. And if you get a couple dedicated soldiers ripping up by the fence to clear off the marbles, which are already on the track, by the way, I think you could see the top lane be a factor, especially in heavy traffic scenarios.
We're getting ready to wait for qualifying to go official here. Just a couple seconds left, and then we will have a starting lineup for you here from the Mile at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds, one of the oldest tracks in the world. One of the few tracks that equals almost the mighty Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the number of IndyCar races actually held here over the period of history. Let's get into this afternoon's starting lineup here from the Mile. And on the pole, it is O'Sullivan, the only driver to break that 172 bracket. Right next to him, Lovern, with a great start to today's primary event here on Friday. The undercard race to tomorrow's main event. That's the IndyCar Championship. Lovern on the front row here, down at the 171.4. The team boss lining up third, 171.4. Salvazzi on the outside of row 2. Pedro PB is back. He is back, and he is on the inside of row 3. On the outside is Matty, who was having quite an adventuresome practice out there doing some barrel rolls. Hugo Gall is back in row 4. Strauss on the outside. Christensen and Sanchez back on row 5. Sanchez was among one of the fastest in practice, so we'll see what he could do from his 10th starting spot. Kinder and Hesse, Coker and Solwedge back in row 6 and 7. Inch and Simpson, Steiger and Pim Van Castell in row 9. Johnson and Bonnie back in row 10. And Jesper, he's going to attempt the worst to first challenge here. Back on row 11 with Miller right next to him. Shotgun on the field, and one of the cars is not moving on the grid. The 94 of Christian Steiger.
Had to refill his cup real quick. Run to the infield, get a slushie, you know. But the worst to first works so well for Jesper at Michigan. I mean, why not double down? Do it every week.
He has a long road ahead of him right here with the 1 mile oval. Not a lot of time and a lot of cars to pass in the process. We have a 22-car field. We'll see if he can do it. It'll be fun to watch. Got me to the green flag. Pace car makes the duck into a very dangerous pit road entrance. And we are green flag underway. Liam O'Sullivan brings him into turn 1.
Steiger wasted no time on the start. He might have been sluggish on the grid, but he got by 2 or 3 people there on the front stretch.
I'm wondering if he maybe jumped it. We'll see. Jesper, 3 wide through the corner. Right behind him. Alexander Miller involved in that mess, but breaking out in front, it's Liam, Julian, and Lovern, the teammates, all 1, 2, 3. Pedro 4th. O'Sullivan goes to the top on the purple lap.
Steger did get a penalty for passing before the green flag, so he's serving that penalty now. He'll probably fall 2 or 3 laps down.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Good jump, but bad timing, unfortunately.
Oh, it's not a stop and hold. It's just a drive-through. So he's going to be fighting here with the leaders. O'Sullivan just went by. Altena's now to his outside. So maybe a little bit of pit strategy, and he'll be able to get back on the lead lap later.
And a battle for third between Pedro and Gary.
Pedro's going to have a good run here coming into 3.
Problem is down low. It's really a hard position to keep the momentum down here on this paper clip shaped oval. And Gary almost cuts in the behind
Pedro
him there.
wants to see is for Christian. He wants to see Christian keep running that second lane, right? He needs all of the clean air to make the car go as fast as possible on the bottom down by that big yellow curb. The curb's way more dangerous in 1 and 2 than in 3 and 4. It's elevated to help partition traffic from the pit lane exit.
Right.
Whereas in 3 and 4, it's not quite as elevated.
And Gary holds on to that position, moves back out in front. And I think I agree with you there a little bit. Probably dirty air from Steiger was not helping things there. Maybe even helping Gary a little bit with the draft on the straights. Pedro going to a Formula One era livery for his DW12. Memory serves me, there never was a Marlboro-colored DW12 in IndyCar Series. That was after the time that Penske had to give those colors up. Now Pedro to the inside of Gary again. Big run off of 2, going into 3 down the backstretch. He's still there. Gary is not giving any inch.
I wonder if you're going to start seeing Lovern take an even wider line to avoid the dirty air.
riding with Silvazzi, who has the best seat in the house behind this battle. Meanwhile, up front, O'Sullivan and Julian are just pulling away. There is about 4 seconds up to the lead from where Lovern is.
Yeah, they're in Waukesha already. They are no longer in Milwaukee.
Of course, here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Shout out to my teammate Jacob.
Yeah, go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah,
from there.
Shout out to my teammate Jacob Collins. He's from Waukesha. That's the reason why I know the geography.
Gary moves a little bit down the front backstretch, causing Pedro to kind of pop out. Now Pedro gets the position. Gary's going to try to swap over. Now he goes to the inside. Again, we're watching from the point of view. Oh, and here's Silvazzi. Big run off the corner. Inside of Lovern. Lovern's going to lose another spot.
Not quite yet. Lovern just took too much curb through 1 and 2 and it upset the car. Silvazzi's not quite clear yet. And there he goes. He's got the pass done now.
Of course, the site here at the State Fairgrounds, not too far away from where the headquarters of Harley-Davidson used to be, one of their prime factories there. Meanwhile, back up front, Liam O'Sullivan, leader by a 1.5 seconds over team boss Julian Altena. Julian's a former winner.
Steger's been given a steward's blue flag, a stern warning to let lead lap cars by as soon as they catch him.
Julian's a former winner here in the IndyCar Championship.
Yeah, the rules in this league are that you can only defend your lead lap position against the leader, and you can only do that up until 10 laps to go in the race. So once you're beyond the leader, you basically have to roll over. That is the expectation of all lappers.
Bonnie and Van Gastel back for 18th, side by side through 1 and 2 down the backstretch. I think Pim's going to get the spot. He could slide up if he wanted to. He's not going to do that. That was a bit of a Brazilian clear on him to do that. But now he's clear. The driver inputs off there. Show you the remainder of the field, how we're running right now. Today's rule set coming into this event, we're lap 20 of 175. It's 4 sets of tires. 1 on the car, 3 in the pits, 85% fuel. So approximately 15.7 gallons or 56 liters. A 1 mile paper, that's twice I've done that. This paper clip shaped oval, there we go. And
it's because we're talking about spaceships and pre-race.
That's right, we were.
Paper ships, spaceships.
It's a 1 mile paperclip shaped oval, primarily flat. There's a little bit of banking there. It doesn't look like it. The turns here actually are what they modeled turn 3 at Pocono after. Pit road speed limit is 45 miles per hour, 175 laps, 175 race miles a day. Although, depending on who you talk to, this could be anywhere from a 1 mile oval to a 1.15 mile oval or more. We're going with the at least one.
It just depends on how you measure it.
Right.
Jesper Orman looking 3 wide here into turn 1.
Heshy.
Don't look now, guys. He is in the top 10.
Oh, contact! Big contact! And that is Seb Kinder and Caustic Solway. Oh, they're just cars still flying into that wreck zone.
So it looks like Seb Kinder did a bit of a send there to the inside.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of racing going
Cleaned
on
out
there.
newcomer Kostek solo wedge. Shane Coker did a good job getting low down and not hitting anyone. Only 2 cars are going to be out of the race from this.
And I think it was just a little bit of just running out of room because a lot of cars have been starting to use a little bit of that curb. And let's watch it from Kinder's point of view as he's setting all this up as a big run down the front stretch. But he's going to send it right down the curb.
I'm not sure if Kostek knew he was there. You get that call so late and you think you're going to have way more momentum than someone who enters that shallow. So maybe he had just expected to be clear by that point. Or, he saw Jesper make such quick work of everyone in front of him. He's like, oh, I want to be following that guy, right? And you get target fixation ahead and you don't pay attention to what's in your mirror.
And that might be what happened. So Alexander Miller missing the action there. But a whole host of pit stops. We'll update you on that. But Chad Simpson in the satellite racing entry, he stayed out. Mackenzie Johnson stayed out. Coker stayed out. Pim Van Castel stayed out. The top 4 all stayed out. Liam O'Sullivan is now in 5th. He came to pit road. Same thing with Pedro. Silvazzi in 7th. Julian, actually, I'm not sure what happened to him on pit road. But the guys in front of Julian had much shorter stops. I'm looking at my timing and scoring. Liam had an 8-second stop where Pedro and Silvazzi both had 5-second stops. Julian had an 8-second stop, so that allowed Pedro and Silvazzi to get a pass on Julian on pit road. Not sure why Julian had a bit of a longer stop there. Strauss is in 9th. Lovern has fallen back to 10th.
I think it's as easy as they did not take tires. I think Julian did, and they did not.
Okay.
Chad Simpson's going to bring the field down here to green. Lights are out on the pace car as it ducks off here in turn 1. The restart zone here is very late. So watch for stack-ups here.
Green flag, green flag. Caution, yellow flag.
Oh, a car flipping down the
big.
front.
And
2 cars, 3 cars.
4 cars, 5 cars, I think. We have involved in that Alexander Miller, John Christensen, Hugo Gallus, and Dan Inch. And it starts right around Gallus.
I honestly think it starts at Strauss. It's just the classic accordion effect. Strauss went when the green flag went and not when the cars in front of him went, and it caused a chain reaction, which caused cars to go flipping down the front. You see it every time here at these really delayed restart zones. You even see it in real life when Newgarden did it at Worldwide Technology.
So yeah, right. Look at Christensen as he netcodes enough of Hugo to send Hugo around, and then cars behind him start just piling into one another. And Steiger involved in that one as well. Wow, a lot of carnage on that lap. So this is just helping the cause of Chad Simpson, who stayed out. Same thing with Johnson, Coker, and Van Gestel.
Now, by my calculations, it's probably easy to stretch and save to about 50 laps worth of gas. This 25-lap window that most of the cars pit on under that first yellow, I think they're now clear to cut a stop from the race that anyone who has not stopped will have to make up.
Well, lights are already out on the pace car, coming to the green flag this time by Coming to green, lap 29 to lap 30 here of 175. Chad Simpson, your leader, Johnson Coker, and Pim, your top 4. Watch this run by Liam. That's what new tires do for you. Even tires that young, only 25 laps old, well, boom, moves right on by. Oh, look at the battle between Salvazzi and Julian.
Not much of a battle, more of a, that's my spot, I'll take it now. Tactical concessions, I like to call those.
And the field gets settled in here.
O'Sullivan draws his target on Shane Coker, who's racing under the weather today. A little bit of a flu race for that 93 machine.
Ooh, Julian looking on the high side on a 3-car battle now between Pim, Pedro, and Julian.
I think Julian will get one of these guys in this set of corners, and then the next one in the next. Not the exit he needs there. We'll have to delay a set of corners. Another aggressive entry from Altena.
Oh, he wants to slide up. He can't quite do it. Now he's clear. Oh, big high entry off the corner there for Julian. If you enjoy Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR ICONIC Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future VOR iRacing broadcasts, including tomorrow. The IndyCar Championship will be right here, same place, 4 p.m. Eastern for 250 miles. And the channel is just 14 subscriptions shy from getting to 500. Help out Julian. Get this channel to 500 subscribers. Subscribe right now. Subscribe today. It doesn't cost you a thing and helps the channel the most. Milwaukee.
Oh, Carol Stout's in the chat telling us that they
is.
do get put on diets, drivers do in real life.
Not surprised. I know that A.J. Foyt had to put himself on a diet to slide into one of these cars a little bit later in his career.
No ice cream for AJ?
Or anything that he wanted to eat, primarily. I think that's what it was. Just about every era of IndyCar ran here. AAA, USAC, CART, IRL, IndyCar. And it's currently back on the NTT IndyCar schedule as we see Pedro bounce off the turn 4 wall. In fact, the race was well received last year, and it was a key race on the road to the championship.
And you had a lot of new players at the front. You know, seeing those Juncos cars like really be able to hit the setup right on cold tires and be able to use the outside line.
Connor
that makes for an exciting race when different teams try different engineering aspects to set their cars up.
Yeah, Connor got his got a podium finish here, which equaled the same track where his dad got his best IndyCar finish. I want to say that was 86 or 87. There was a really cool graphic that Yukos Hollinger tweeted out of a modern day Connor IndyCar with his dad's IndyCar next to him, kind of superimposed in, and talked like kind of like father like son. Best IndyCar finish here. Yeah, very, very cool picture. Watching this battle develop here for third. As we're watching Julian, Coker, and McKenzie.
The outside.
Yeah. Now Julian has caught him, goes to the inside of Coker. Coker's going to fight back on the outside. He has the draft of McKenzie. So does Julian now. Slides back up. Meanwhile,
Coker goes even higher than Altena there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back up front.
Yeah,
now
I don't think the
turning,
high line's just quite ready yet.
turning into a battle between Simpson and O'Sullivan. Julian to the inside of McKenzie. Move Julian now up to third, and O'Sullivan has reached the attenuator of Simpson.
And Altena wants O'Sullivan to get hung up here behind Simpson. They may be teammates, but I'm sure Julian would love to at least fight Liam for the win today.
And Liam edges
Really
out,
well
new
done from
leader.
Liam. He's really patient there. He didn't attack the track too much. He just drove in just deep enough to get position on Chad, and he just let the newer tires and his really good pace dictate the outcome of that battle. Problem is, if you push too hard in this car, oftentimes you end up going much, much slower than if you had just kind of chilled out, relaxed, and did about what you were normally doing. It's like the harder you drive, the slower you go.
Yeah. That's exactly the way around here. You got to be smooth, and sometimes fast is not always the fastest way around this place. So you think the lowest line, hitting these corners as hard as possible, is the best way? No, not necessarily. Watching now a three-way battle between Strauss, Lovert, and Orman. Orman up 10 spots to 11th. Your big gainer of the day is Mackenzie Johnson in fourth, up 15 spots. Chad Simpson up 14 spots to second. Now Julian trying to run down Simpson. He has a little bit more of a tougher road to get there. Simpson is 49 laps into his run, so he would be coming to pit road if we stay green here. Probably the next, 25 laps or so?
I don't know if you can go 75. My calculations, or the black box calculations, told me you can get about 53 laps on a full tank. So considering he had a little bit of yellow, I'd expect
Got two
maybe
cautions.
he can go to lap 60.
60, 65?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. He's about 10 laps away from that. We're at lap 50 of 175. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Friday action opening Milwaukee weekend in the Velocity Online Racing League. Iconic Series today, IndyCar Series tomorrow. This is still one of those tracks
All
that
from the Milwaukee Mile.
all from the mile, that's right. This is one of those tracks that is steeped in IndyCar history. So much so that when I tell you who the career wins leader here in IndyCar history, this harkens back to one of the all-time greats well before the age of AJ and Mario and kind of the contemporary stars we see today. The career wins leader here, and here we go with Julian to the inside of Simpson. And Julian gets that position. A name you rarely hear unless you're talking about wins at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Roger Ward has 7 wins here at the mile, and he is your career wins leader here in IndyCar history. 9 drivers have
Here,
won.
you've got a hornet's nest passed by Orman, Strauss,
we're looking at it.
Silva. Yeah, they're all stacked up.
Not very many places to go for Jesper and Chad Simpson on pit road.
So it's just about 50 laps, even with those yellows. So, I mean, I don't think Chad was saving very much at all in clean air there. But Coker's coming in, and so is Van Gastel. So all of those people who stayed out on the first caution have run their tanks dry.
There we see Chad coming off of pit road with the leaders are all coming around him, trying to get that down on that curb or close to that curb as possible, making a bit more of a threading the needle for him than it really needs to be. Your leader is O'Sullivan right there. O'Sullivan in front of him has Steiger, who has got repaired. Julian, there is Julian. He is second. Pedro, halfway down the backstretch, is third. Salvazzi, fourth. And then right behind him is this battle with Lovern, Orman, and Strauss. 9 drivers over the course of IndyCar history have won more than one under one sanctioning body here. It's pretty, you don't see that anywhere else here other than at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 10 drivers have managed to back up their win at Indianapolis with a win here. This used to be, for the longest time, the first race that was post-Indy 500. So this was the typically the first place that the general public outside of Indianapolis got a chance to meet and greet the Indy 500 winner. It's right here at Milwaukee. Inside Orman, over Lovern.
Oh, too much curb for Orman. He almost spun. What a save.
Maybe, Clindy, do you know the last driver to win back-to-back Indianapolis and at Milwaukee?
Like winning at Indy and then the next week he rolled up and won at Milwaukee?
Yes.
I mean, I'm just going to guess AJ Foyt, the fourth.
The fourth? No, it's actually well, and we're watching. We got some traffic here involved, so we're gonna watch this here real quick. No, Foyt the fourth never won one, but that would have been interesting to see Foyt the fourth actually win. Well, he might have won one in I don't know if Lights raced here at all, or the old feeder Road to Indy series here until last year. But I
just saw him at Chicagoland in the Harris scheme one time, so you know I had to name drop that little piece of history. So
Juan Montoya, when he won the Indy 500 in 2000, came here in the next week in kart and got the first win for Toyota in IndyCar history here at the mile. So he actually was the last to do it, and he did it with 2 different sanctioning bodies in 2 different weeks in 2 different cars.
Two different teams too, or the same team?
No, it was still with Target Chip Ganassi. That was a boring.
Chip likes winners. That's
he does, and that was a boring Indy 500. Let me tell you, Juan had complete control of that race. I think he led something in the neighborhood like 160 laps. Yeah, that was not a fun race to go to. There was a period where Lazier was in contention for just a little while, and it was kind of exciting then. But after that, once Montoya pulled away, no one could touch him, and then it was a clear showing of how dominant the kart teams were. Even though kart wasn't the dominant series, kart had the dominant teams and drivers. And there we see Orman getting around Salvazzi, moving Jesper now up the 4th spot.
Yeah, will Jesper be the foil to O'Sullivan today? Will he put himself in contention to prevent a 160-lap leader today in our 175-lap event? It's getting closer. Yeah. You know, 9.5 seconds is a long way to make up, but if anybody can do it, it's him.
And we still got a couple pit stops to happen here. And a lot can happen. You are absolutely correct. Your leader, O'Sullivan. And let's bring up the driver points. And there you go. There are the driver points coming into today. It's O'Sullivan. Dan Heshe is currently second, and he is currently doing another typical job of himself. He is back in 9th spot right now, so setting up for another top 10 for Heshe. Weber is 3rd, not in today's lineup. Santos is 4th, not in today's lineup. Sinclair is 5th. So Maddie, who is currently in 8th, is looking to possibly make some positions up here in the top 5. There you see the rest of the lineup. Orman, Salvazzi, Julian, Pim, Alexander, your top 10. And there you see the top 20.
Orman's now moved himself up to third, but the gap still widens to O'Sullivan, now almost 10 whole seconds. Yeah, Heshy's been the model of consistency this year.
He's currently nice. There he is.
He takes a ho-hum day and turns it into a top 5 almost every week. Couple of podiums, too.
Yeah, those top 10, top 5s, and those podium finishes start to add up after a while. Everybody among the leaders, with the exception of Chad Simpson, who's now in 11th. There's Chad. He is 1 lap down. Right behind him is Pim. Pim is also 1 lap down. They're going to cycle out to the front if we get green flag pit stops, which we're not that far away from. The leaders last time when they pitted on lap 54. That was with some caution laps involved. Liam O'Sullivan, our leader, is now 48 laps into his stint. And I don't think that we've seen very much caution at all in this stint. So he's coming to pit road very, very soon.
Yeah, shouldn't be too long. And I actually don't think Simpson is going to be ahead of Liam once Liam pits. Liam's pace has been very good since he got around Chad. Obviously, he's slower on the older tires, but I think he's been better for enough laps that they will be pretty close. It won't be Simpson walking away because of the drastic undercut due to the differences in strategy.
There you see the gaps on the tree. 2.5 back to Altena, and then 7 seconds back to Jesper. Pedro currently 2.9, 3 seconds back of Orman. Salvazzi 1.4, 1.5. Now coming to pit road, actually. There he is with Gary Lovern right behind him. Scheduled stop here at lap 76.
Both the AA cars are in, O'Sullivan and Altena. Or both the lead ones. Gary Lovern is an AA car as well, and he is on pit road, but the lap before.
And this should get those guys to about lap 125, 127, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and that's one more stop, and then they're home, right? Whereas
Yep.
Chad Simpson's going to have to stop again because he's going to run out of fuel.
Orman now your leader. As the previous leaders came to pit road, that was there's Julian coming off pit road. And O'Sullivan have stopped. Matty Sinclair is now second. Pedro third, who is hitting his box right now. Liam's going to get the position on the main straight. Move Liam now up to third. And Matty coming to pit road. Driving that Nigel Mansell era livery. And I think Nigel did win here.
Orman's coming in. So now we've seen everyone make at least their second stop of the day. Well, sorry, not at least, but everybody's depleted their tank of fuel completely.
Right, exactly. And now we'll see if Liam, who does get around Jesper, and he is now right behind Heshy. This is lapping up to P11 right now. To the inside of Heshy. Hey, everybody, if you like what you see and you'd like to be a part of future races here in the VOR Iconic Series, click on the VOR Discord invite in the description and learn more today. The car is free. It's part of the base iRacing package. Joining the league is free. All you need is the desire and the tracks on the schedule. If you think you got what it takes to race with the VOR Iconic drivers, we encourage you to learn more and sign up today. Everything you need is in the description. And you too could be on the grid next week when we go to Iowa. Here is the Season 5 Iconic Series schedule. You see we are now in round 3. We go to Iowa next, then Legacy, Kentucky, then Indianapolis in March, Kansas, proper Phoenix, Auto Club, Homestead, and wrapping up the season in early May at Chicagoland.
My home track, probably my favorite track on the service. I hope these DW12s really get to shine on our 1.5 Jewel in Joliet.
Lovern and Pim for a battle for 8th, and Lovern gets around.
You know, Gary, something about Chad Simpson's pace might be telling me that he's been actively trying to save fuel so he doesn't have to make that extra stop.
I was just noticing
I don't
that.
know if it's working out for him.
I was just noticing he did not go as high as I thought he would be in the standings since he pitted earlier than everyone else, and now since we've gone through a pit cycle, I figured he'd be probably up inside the top 5. But I think he is trying to make this happened with one less stop, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah, or maybe just trying to stick around as long as possible and hope for a timely yellow to get him back on the same sequence as everyone else. When I was looking at his lap times versus Liam's and Julian's, they just weren't close. So I knew he wasn't going to inherit the lead, but I think it's not because of a pace differential. I think it's intentional. But he's just trying to stretch the gasoline as far as it'll go.
Riding with the Satellite Racing driver. Early in 7th spot, back on the lead lap. Big lift. He's down on the very bottom of the racetrack, trying to make the shortest line possible around this place. Liam O'Sullivan getting around Pim Van Gastel for 10th. So now we have lapped up to the P10 position. Next up, last car on the lead lap is Maddie Sinclair in 9th.
He's got a battle raging right in front of him. Gary Lovern and Christian Steger, who's a couple laps down, have been side by side for the last couple of corners.
Yeah, no place to go.
It's not the Milwaukee Mile, it's the Milwaukee conveyor belt of cars.
And Nigel Mansell did win back here in 93. Might have been his first oval win, I think. And there we see Maddie getting a run on Christian, and he will get the track position. He slides up in front of him with the leader trying to run him down. There is your leader, Liam O'Sullivan, currently your points leader as well. Started first,
probably odds-on
first.
Championship favorite.
Yeah, I would say that he's getting to that position. We're only 2 rounds done. It's looking like it. Team boss Julian Altena right behind him. Julian not letting and willing to allow Liam to get away. Julian is second. Jesper now third. Pedro fourth. Strauss in fifth, as this field is really, really strung out. Silvazzi sixth. Simpson seventh. Lovern eighth. Sinclair ninth. And Pim in 10th.
What I love about having cars all around the racetrack is it creates these little micro battles, right? You'll have a lapped car trying to stay, in a position where they can still use the wave around, and a car trying to catch a car for position, and everybody's got different agendas. So while I understand and appreciate while the league has the blue flag rules it does, but when you get a situation like this on a track, it creates a lot of, I'll say, genuinely occurring sports moments, right, where people get to make real decisions that matter, and it really shows how you treat your other competitors, right? You can gain a lot of respect or lose a lot of respect very quickly with how you handle these types of situations.
Closest battle on the racetrack is this right here between Silvazzi and Simpsons. Watching out the back of Silvazzi's car, out the gearbox at the moment, as we watch Simpson get closer and closer and closer. Caution on the racetrack.
Oh, there's yellow. It is Christian Steiger.
Let's see what happens. A rough day here for Christian. Oof.
Into the wall off of 2 and just could not save it.
Up in the wall and then into the inside wall. Shedding parts. And,
you know who the happiest man in the state of Wisconsin is right now, Gary?
Maddie Sinclair.
Maddie Sinclair's pretty happy, but I think Jesper Orman's got him beat.
Yeah, I think Julian's pretty.
10 seconds gifted to him.
And I think Julian's pretty happy. He's back up in the battle here too. So now let's see who comes
Chad
down
Simpson
pit road.
Too no longer has to go economy mode.
Nope.
He can go.
And he's coming to pit road right now.
Liam did not pit.
Nope, neither did Julian.
Neither did Julian.
Neither did Jesper.
Not taking tires here is really, really
Pedro did not.
An interesting
Maddie
decision.
did not. Lovern on pit road. He opted to stop. Strauss on pit road opted to stop. Simpson, Silvazzi. So, all right, so the second half of the top 10 all opted to stop. So this is going to be interesting with the second half of the top 10 all now on full tanks and fresh tires. Will they be able to storm forward and get to the top 5 who decided to stay out? Liam is your leader. He has 24 lap-old tires, same as Julian. Jesper has 21 lap-old tires. Pedro has 23. Maddie has 22. So in the grand scheme of things, those are pretty worn tires at this point. We saw kind of what new tires versus old tires will do at the last restart. So the guys up front have really got to go and can't waste much time, because I got a feeling Strauss, Lovern, Simpson, Silvazzi, those 4 specifically, and Gastel back there, who Pim is in 10th, and he just stopped as well. They are going to want to come forward rather quickly and get around those guys.
Well, the other thing that the leaders who stayed out will have to combat the rest of this race is that they're going to be on the back foot. If they have to pit under green and we get another yellow, they could find themselves 1 lap down to the new leader.
Very easily. Coming to green as the leaders get up in position up against the wall. You see the marbles being kicked up. And now Liam and Julian join the high line. And let's see if we have a clean start. Clean start. O'Sullivan, Altena, Orman, Pedro, and Maddie in the 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I don't think they're going to have any challenge from those fresh tires before they're going to have to pit. There's just too many cars and too much track position in between them all. I think what's really going to matter is strategy and if there happens to be a yellow at a bad time for these current leaders.
Simpson on the inside of Coker. That's just for track position. Coker back in 12th. Simpson in 8th. Bringing Silvazzi with. You got somebody in chat, Nick Wheeler says, that changes everything. Yep, it does. It sure does. Go back up front, check out that battle with the leaders. And O'Sullivan and Altena have pulled away a little bit from Jesper.
Which is surprising considering how much fresher Jesper's tires are.
Are 3 laps better.
That's almost 10%.
Yeah.
That's a quantifiable advantage in my book.
If you're just... Oh, go ahead.
Chad Simpson. Oh, go ahead. Chad Simpson threw a fade on Patrick Silvazzi going into
Here
turn
we go.
3.
We'll watch this battle right now before we get to station ID. Simpson's going to let Silvazzi go. Now he set him back up to the inside in 3 and 4. No, he tucks back in. If you are just joining us, this is Velocity Racing, online racing's coverage of the VOR Iconic Series coming to you from the Milwaukee Mile. For the Milwaukee 175, where we completed now 109 of 175 scheduled laps. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, would you? We're only about 14 subscribers away from hitting the 500 mark here for Julian. Do that for him. He certainly would appreciate it. It costs you nothing to subscribe. Change that red button, make it gray, and you are then now subscribed to the channel. And ring the bell so you don't miss out on the next race, which is tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, the IndyCar Championship right here, same place at the Milwaukee Mile for 250 miles and 250 laps.
Yeah, and once you turn that button gray, just click that down arrow, have the bell turn to all or personalized, and you'll get a push notification to your phone whenever we're about to go live or publish a new video. I'm sure Julian would really love it if you could subscribe to the channel. He's almost to 500, sitting at 486 right now.
And I think Jesper's reeling Julian in a little bit. Let's ride with Jesper. And look how flat this racetrack is.
If we could, I'd play the Jaws music. No banking. I mean, there's technically some.
And look how these corner.
None.
Look at these corner exits. How you just run out of racetrack really, really fast. Watch this. It's just like, I got plenty of racetrack. I got plenty of... Nope. Jesper going down the 5th gear. Some people go down as low as 4 in the corners. Jesper keeping the revs high in the power band. A little bit of brake. As your top 4 right
done
there.
a really good job managing the traffic. He's now moved himself up to 7th. It's not too far behind Matthias Strauss, who I believe, is he the first car on tires?
He
or
is
the
the
last car
first.
who stayed out?
He is the first car on the freshest tires right now in 6th.
Yep, and he's got Maddie Sinclair in his sights with just 1 lapper between them. And I believe that is Alexander Miller.
Miller, one of our winners last season, having a bit of a tough day here on the 1 Mile Oval. I've been there. This is one of my least favorite tracks, even going back to the old IndyCar Racing 1 and 2 days. This was one of my least favorite tracks for whatever reason.
I felt that way about the original Homestead, the tiny Indianapolis. It was flat and...
Oh, the mini Indy, yeah.
I felt that way on, I think it was NASCAR 99, I think, was the first time I had the pleasure of driving that track, and I just remember I could not get it right.
First time I remember in video game form racing that track was Kart Precision Racing.
I've now learned to love every track, despite their flaws. They're all perfect in their own way. Except for Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, that change to Texas was not very necessary.
What it did.
Yeah, that was not very necessary. The legacy Texas.
No, it's the Furco lawsuit, man. It's the lawsuit, not the reprofiling. It's what the track has done, not what the track is.
The legacy Texas Motor Speedway is still the proper Texas Motor Speedway, as much like the legacy Phoenix is the proper Phoenix Raceway here on the service as well. This is your closest battle on the racetrack. This battle's second, third, and fourth. Julian, Jesper, Pedro, and Julian and Jesper getting really close now to Julian.
Liam, yeah, it's down to under a second, and Jesper's right on Julian's attenuator within a tenth and a half. Jesper's just really looking for a place where he can get clean air and build a run. It's really difficult to do. Julian's doing a very good job of entering high and running low or hitting something resembling an apex through these long turns. And when I say that, I don't mean literally he's putting his left sides on the curb, but he's kind of shaving or paring down the corners. Oh, right. Both the Altena cars are in the pit road.
Seeing that right now, scheduled
honestly,
stop.
I'm not certain their pit window's open. I know they've gone 50 before, but they're going to go 53 laps here.
Well, they're at 124 on 124. So we'll see. This is a scheduled team strategy right here to be done with this final stop, so they could be good to go to the end. And they're going to push really hard on these laps. Well, up front is Jesper.
See, this is where blue flags get tricky. Because Altena and O'Sullivan are technically one lap down, right? Does that mean they need to yield to the cars that are still out on the racetrack? I don't think they're going to, because they're going to be faster. But if those cars that are on the lead lap now don't fight very hard, they're effectively not fighting for position anymore, right? They will be fighting these cars for position later in the race. It's just kind of where those rules get tacky, right? Like, how do you properly enforce that? Nick, I'm not sure if Jesper's saving for a gas and go. It'd be a pretty long stretch to go without tires, and he needs to fill the tank up all the way. Pedro Bobel is coming in this lap. I would assume Jesper's going to be in the next 3 to 5 laps.
Pedro currently in his fourth career race here in the Iconic Series. His 3 previous starts were all top 10 finishes. Looking to keep that streak alive here tonight as he makes his final stop here at the mile. Right behind him is Matty Sinclair. Final stop for Matty. And I'm not sure what happened to who was on pit road as well. That's Seb Kinder. Okay. So Seb Kinder was involved in an early incident. Caution on the racetrack. Oh, Pedro. He has been jinxed by the broadcaster Jinx. He comes off the button.
He clipped the grass coming out of pit road. He collected Julian Altena. Your second place car is now out of the race.
Oh, Julian, no place to go.
And Liam was stuck one lap down. So he'll have to take the wave around.
Watch this. Oh, my goodness. Oh. And we were saying at Texas in the IndyCar Championship that he got the monkey off his back. Well, hello, Julian. New monkey. That is really unlucky. Really.
Stop putting bananas in your backpack, man. That's how you get monkeys on your back.
Oh, my goodness. That is horribly unlucky.
Jesper Orman, I want to know where he keeps his golden horseshoe.
Orman with the...
It might be the second half or the bottom half of his helmet. The golden colors of the Ukraine flag.
Jesper with the Caleb Binsey-esque level of luck. And, yeah, that's going to move him now as your new leader. Strauss second. Now Orman is going to pick up the lead as 20 spots gained. Strauss is second. O'Sullivan third. Lovern continues to have a good race. He is in fourth. Now he's moving up to third. Not sure. Liam is getting cycled to the back for some reason.
Yeah, Liam is effectively a wave-around car. They're talking over the comms. There may be a lucky dog enabled in this series. I know that we've seen some cars pass the pace car at, I'd say, non-standard times this season. So I'm not sure if that's a new rule this season that I missed in the handbook, but I believe that's what has happened to O'Sullivan. I believe he was waved around to get his lap back.
And there's Maddie. Heshy also coming around to join the tail end of the pack. I believe. Oh, what? Slow down, Maddie. Oh, they're getting. Oh, okay, so Liam is going to the back of the line. So we're getting ready to go green now at lap 133, coming to 134. Orman, Strauss, Lovern, Simpson, and now Pim, your top five, as this game is all of a sudden changed drastically.
Now that changes everything.
Yes, it does. Okay, Heshy's back on the lead lap. Heshy is now 9, so he's back inside the top 10. O'Sullivan, now McKenzie is going to pass Pedro on pit road. Move McKenzie up to 12th now.
Silvazzi and Van Gastel are pod to pod through 3 and 4. Silvazzi the victor this time.
And Silvazzi keeps getting better and better and better in these ovals. He's got 2 wins in the IndyCar Championship on road courses. And he's going to get an oval win here at some point. It used to be when he started in these cars, you could count on him being fast and at the front, but you couldn't count on him getting to the finish. Now he's putting together those finishes. And as soon as you start putting together a string of good finishes in IndyCar, that win is going to come. Because as they say, Confucius was not a race car driver, but to finish first you must win. Inside, O'Sullivan over Sinclair and Pim side by side. 3 wide for a portion of that corner. As Liam is not willing to give any quarter here, he wants to move forward. Move Liam now up to 6th.
Maddie Sinclair says, hold on, Superman, let me tug on your cape. I really, really want to follow you forward. I was up there. I want to finish there.
And he's going to get a run on the high side over Pim. Side by side, down the backstretch into 3. Pim's going to have the edge in the corner, in the middle of the corner. But the momentum on the high side moves Sinclair back on by and gives him the position at the start-finish line. Moves Sinclair up to 7th.
O'Sullivan's not done yet. Now he's working on Silvazzi.
Problem is, I think he's going to run out of time and tire.
Yeah, and if we get caution after caution here, which would re-rack the field, we're going to run out of actual time. This series is limited to 75 minutes. We have just passed the 1 hour mark, so many more cautions, and we will not complete this race. By distance, we will by time.
And we'll get the laps to go here. 34 to go, as we're getting clutch on time. Here's Liam to the inside of Silvazzi. Closer, but unable to pull off the pass.
I really think he's got to figure out how to get him by on the high side. That late entry with the low, like I said, like an Apex.
Whoa.
Look at how much momentum he has on corner exit. He's going to the bottom.
Move.
What a block from Silvazzi.
That was a legal move. And whether or not Liam's going to like that. And he gets on by Silvazzi. But Silvazzi's like, nope, I'm not done.
No, he
goes
doesn't.
To the inside.
He overdrove exit. Silvazzi's still there.
Watching out the back of Simpson's car. Silvazzi starts to scoot up a little bit. Liam is clear. Silvazzi's not done. Sends it in the 1 and 2.
See, if Simpson wanted to play really dirty, he could feed O'Sullivan dirty air every time Silvazzi's trying, because he knows Liam is faster. If he can keep those two side by side, it would gain him a spot effectively. But at that point has passed, and O'Sullivan's now working on Simpson. Sullivan has just got this exit figured out. He really rolls through the center and puts the throttle down better than anyone else. Gonna make quick work here of Simpson. And now he's got the podium in his sights. Teammate Gary Lover just about 2 seconds up the road. And look who called them up there. Maddie Sinclair, right behind Simpson and Silvazzi.
Just ran him down.
S's.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna duke it out here for the last spot of the top 5.
Well, we have O'Sullivan in 4th. We have Silvazzi in 5th. Simpson in 6th. And Sinclair. So almost all S's up there.
Almost.
Almost. Liam in 4th. Silvazzi 5th. Chad in 6th, Sinclair 7th. Hesse now up to 8th as he's around Pim for 9th.
You take a bad day and you make a bad day sandwich. That's what Daniel Hesse's been doing all season long.
Orman in the wall off of 4.
It worked so well at Michigan, Gary. He figured he'd do it again.
And instead of getting that Texaco sponsorship, and he just needs to get some sort of demolition company because he keeps trying to knock down that wall. That time he gives it a little bit more edge.
O'Sullivan has already caught Gary Lovern. O'Sullivan's going to be in 3rd here by the start-finish line. Yep, there he goes. No fight from Lovern whatsoever.
No, that's a wise battle of teammates. Let's save as much time as possible. If you are faster than me, which you are, I'm just going to let you on by. Lovern's still looking at a solid top 5 day right now. 25 to go here at Milwaukee. Up front, Jesper Orman, who 2 laps ago banged it off the turn 4 exit wall.
Now, I really do believe Matthias Strauss is so far up the road that Liam has no chance of catching him. It's almost 4 seconds.
Once again, if you're just joining us, you are watching Velocity Online Racing's coverage of round 3 of 11 of the VOR Iconic Series, coming to you from the Milwaukee Mile for the Milwaukee 175, where Jesper Orman is your leader with 22 to go. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race, which is tomorrow. This guy right here is the defending champion of the IndyCar Championship. And they will be here on the Milwaukee Mile in the IR18s for 250 miles. Tomorrow, me and Clee. Oh, look at Jesper going all the way down to the access road to make that car rotate through 1 and 2.
He's got to be careful. You can't put all 4 tires down below the curbing. That is illegal track usage, according to the stewards.
Well, they're all 4 down there. Oh, and he had to drop a gear to keep the revs up. So he is doing everything to get these cars to try to rotate through the corner.
I'm not going to tell Julian I saw it, so someone else will have to do it. Silvazzi to the inside of Lovern there.
I'll move Silvazzi up to 4th. Lovern's
So
5th.
move Silvazzi up to 4th.
Yeah.
Jinx.
I told you, he keeps putting together these finishes. Eventually, he's going to wrap up a win here. So move Silvazzi to 4th. As O'Sullivan getting around Miller and Johnson, who's in the battle for position. Well, actually, no, they're not. They are 2 laps off each other's pace. That's just for track position. 17 to go. Tell you what, Strauss, very quietly, he's got himself into a second step position here. P2. He's up 6 spots and has been very quietly doing it.
Radio's getting kind of spicy in the event, Gary.
Uh-oh. Who's upset at who?
Just blue flags, generally. The whole rule book is now under discussion.
All right, and there we see Silvazzi getting around maybe where the blue flag discussion is going right there.
Oh, yeah, that was it. The stewards have muted all drivers. So
okay.
the chippiness has stopped. I would anticipate we're going to have a very interesting post-race report.
Oh, Jesper is done the worst, the first portion now. Can he complete the challenge and go to the win with 11 to go? Just 11 more circuits, 11 more miles here. Wow. Down to the grass there between 1 and 2.
Again, I saw nothing.
Whoa, and out to the wall on 4 again. He has a 5-second lead.
He's got a 5-second lead. Jesper, you got a 5-second lead, buddy. You don't need to be driving this hard. You don't need to be trying this hard. Back it down. Bring it home. You can give up half a second a lap. You'll be fine.
Jesper, and this is his 7th start here in the series. Already 3 wins, looking for win number 4.
Orman has received a warning from race control to use the track surface.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know how much time he was gaining down there, so...
Maybe half a tenth of a second. But again, the rule book is very clear. You cannot use it for any purpose whatsoever. So, except for exiting pit road.
Checking out Strauss now with 7 to go. He's got himself a 6-second deficit up to Orman and a 3-second gap, 3.5-second gap back to O'Sullivan. There you see Sullivan coming midway down the backstretch in the 3. Right behind him is Salvazzi. That's in 4th. Gary Lovern, he's working on a top 5 right now. Matty Sinclair up to 6th. And Chad Simpson is now back to 7th.
Considering Chad started 16th, I'm sure he's pretty pleased with his day.
Chad up 9 spots. Let's get Pim on the camera here. Pim up 10. Alexander Miller in 12th. He's
I think Pim
8 laps down, but he's 10 positions better than where he started.
Yeah, I mean, if you throw away Jesper, right, everybody who moved up more than 10 would normally be in contention to be your biggest mover, but Jesper's moved up 20.
20,
so,
yeah.
Hang your hat on that, Jesper.
4 to go here at Milwaukee, the weekend opener for the VOR IndyCar weekend here at Milwaukee Mile. 3 to go at the line. Leader by 6.5 seconds just about. And, well, we're going to have a battle here for 3rd because Salvazzi has caught O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan to the inside.
I think Salvazzi's been much...
No, he's going to swap over to the outside
kinder to his
now.
tires. He's got 2 laps. Look at this high entry, low exit. This is exactly how you build the run. That's how we saw O'Sullivan get it done earlier. Let's see if Salvazzi can do it back on the man himself. The man who dominated this race is about to lose a podium spot. Savazzi's there. He's got his tires alongside.
White flag in the air. Leader just
One
took
more
it.
lap around.
Salvazzi gets a bit of
Side
a
by
run on the
side,
side
coming to
drafts.
the lead.
Oh, my goodness, yes. This is going to be a good finish. Salvazzi's going to get a big run off the corner. It's going to stay on the high side. Let's get back to the leader as Jesper Orman gets the win. Get back to that battle. Oh, no, Liam O'Sullivan, he's out of fuel. He is
I was
dead
worried when
stick.
he and Altena had pit.
He is dead stick, and he is just hemorrhaging positions. And he manages to bring it home 7th.
Last car on the lead lap. I thought he and Julian had to go too far. I did math right today, Gary.
Let's watch his final lap here from our leader. Just so we could say that we saw him take the checker. Here he is taking the white flag with all that action happening, right? Actually getting the win there.
Silvazzi doing burnouts on pit road. Very pleased with his fight to 3rd. Well deserved, Patrick. Way to go.
Actually, we were taking the white flag that time. That's what I thought. Oh, no, he did take the checker flag. So he was doing the victory lap there. All right. So much going on. Hard to keep track of everything. All right. Let's get the final standings in for today. Bit of an interesting
Great
finish there.
drives from most everyone in the field. Yeah.
That's going to put Salvazzi up in the podium position. All right. And Jesper gets the win, and a pretty commanding win by 6.8 seconds over Strauss. Strauss very quietly P2 today. We'll talk to him about his race. Salvazzi out-duels Liam there at the end with a little bit more fuel, and we move Patrick up to P3. Gary Lovern, he started on the front row, I believe, and he gets himself a top 5 at the end of the day, and is the lead AA car. He's in 4th. Matty Sinclair very quietly moves up to 5th. Chad Simpson 6th. Liam, he unfortunately had to coast into 7th. Pim 8th. Coker 9th. And Heshy, another top 10, finishes 10th. Johnson, Miller, Julian, Pedro, Steiger, your top 15. Bonnie, Gallas, Inch, Christensen, Sanchez, your top 20. Didn't get a chance to shout out Bonnie with PFS Personal Financial Planning, but we'll talk more about them in our outro. You want to check him out. He's our benefactor here in the Iconic Series. Comes home 16th. And Kinder and Solwedge back in 21st and 22nd.
Unfortunate victims of sending it too hard today.
Sending it.
We have a very packed waiting room. We've got 6 drivers there.
All right, let's bring in Patrick here.
Here he is.
And there he is, and joining us, Patrick Salvazzi. Hey, man, we were talking about you in the race. Even when you cracked into the top 5, we saw you on the verge of the podium, and you out-dueled Liam there for the podium there in the last lap, just by virtue of having just a little bit more fuel than he did. But we kept saying that you got those couple of wins on the IndyCar side on the road courses, that now you're starting to put together finishes, good finishes in a row on the oval side, that an oval win's not too far out of your future. And then lo and behold, here you are on the podium. I'm going to stand by that. I don't think an oval win is too far out of your future here. P3 today here at Milwaukee. What about your race? Talk about your race. What'd you think of it?
Thank you so much. It was quite of a challenge because at the beginning I didn't resonate with the track at all, because I'm not that good at these type of tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I think, hopefully that I can use this experience for tomorrow. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
And then basically the entire race I was really, really frustrated with. I'm gonna keep it simple. I was pretty frustrated with the lap dunkers, and then I'm not gonna go into deeper here. So
that's okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Clindy. I know you got questions for him.
Yeah, Gary contributed your passing of O'Sullivan to the fuel, but I think you saved more tire than him.
It was entirely
fuel. Go ahead.
Liam.
Yeah.
It was entirely fuel. He had to clutch, and then he run out on the last.
All right. Well, that was my question, whether or not you, I mean, you still had to keep him honest on the fuel he couldn't save because you were hounding him the whole way. So congrats there.
Yeah.
The spotlight's all yours for any friends, family, or sponsors you'd like to shout out. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. So we had another really good race at the TWR house, double podium tonight. Getting better and better. We had a really good roll of the season already. So yeah, thanks everyone, and hopefully we can do this performance tomorrow in the main series.
Yeah, I am pretty confident now that as long as you keep putting these finishes together, that a oval win is not too far off into your future. But until then, keep getting these podiums, and they will eventually start adding up. But congratulations on the P3 today, and we'll see you tomorrow at the main event with the IndyCar Championship tomorrow here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, see you guys. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah. All right, and let's bring up Matthias Strauss. And there he is. Matthias, congratulations, P2. Good team day for Team Watson Racing, second and third. But talk about your race. You know, we really just saw that you kind of were one of the ones that capitalized the most by staying out on one of those late cautions. And it didn't look like that the new tires were the way to run everyone down. Track position kind of was king.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's me and Patrick did a mega race today. Said that Seb and got collected in a crash early that ended his race early, but he helped me and Patrick out mega, so that was really helpful. And yeah, like you said, I felt like track position was key here because both me and Patrick skipped tires the first time, and we didn't get swamped by the new tires, which was a bit surprising, but it was the right call at the time. So we just tried to focus on our race, and even though we were mad at some cars, we just tried to get cool our head and look forward.
Go ahead, Clindy.
Yeah, we saw that the track position and the strategy game both really worked out for you guys, and you didn't have to save much fuel at all at the end there, unlike the Altena cars, which pit at the very beginning of the pit window opening. What kind of drove those differences in strategy? Did having Seb on the box, being able to call strategy for you throughout the race after his day ended early, help you guys out?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we knew I think we were trying to get to lap 35 on the second stint, or after the second stop rather. And me and Seb had two different strategies. He was trying to fuel save, and I was going for it to try to close a gap. But we got lucky in with a yellow, and Seb did some math for us and noticed what we could do to optimize our day here.
Well earned today, second place. You've got the spotlight all to yourself. If you've got friends, family, or sponsors you'd like to shout out, go right ahead.
I want to thank Team Watson Racing and especially Patrick and Seb today, and a big shout out to Mackenzie Johnson. He might be a rival on track, but he was one of you who actually showed some respect to the lead cars, so which was nice. So thank you for those.
All right, well, congratulations, and we'll see you at the next iconic race when we head to Iowa. But a big P2 today for you and Team Watson Racing.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and let's go ahead and bring up Jesper, who once again completes the worst to first challenge. Jesper joining us here in the booth. And first thing, I guess first things first is we saw you using a little bit more of the racetrack than the race stewards wanted you to use through turns 1 and 2. Was it really just getting down there to help the car rotate, or what was the cause of going down there? I know some people kind of use those rumble strips that come off pit road to kind of help the car to rotate. Was it tough to rotate as the tires really got worn off?
To be honest, I actually went slower going down there. So I tried it a few laps because I wanted to see what the old tire model could do.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, it was slower than just going on the racing line. And I must say, the old tire model is fun. This is way more fun than racing the Dallara 18 here. Way more fun.
Go ahead, Clindy.
So why is that, Jesper? I know the IR18, the last time we came here and fixed, had a setup that worked on the high line, which I had a blast with, but that was before the marbles showed up.
Mhm.
So is it the marbles with this tire model or this particular setup? Give us more of a driver's mind eye there.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I just it could be just that I prefer the old tire model because I think that it produces more slower cars and faster cars. Like it's a bigger difference between older cars and newer cars. Like you could even see it at Auto Club where you were like a second faster than the guys on old tires if you were on new tires. And for this, at Milwaukee, session was pretty cold and there was tons of grip. But yeah, it just seems that the tires just grip up and you're able to rip it. And this is what makes this car and, well, the TW12 and $18 so fun because you want to rip it. You don't want to NASCAR it, And really, this is a great combo. I was surprised. I didn't practice, obviously. So I had to treat the first laps as practice. And I have actually ran a couple of $18 runs here lately, and I was driving it like the $18, and they all left me because I was lifting way too much. So it took me 15, 20, 25 laps to like, oh wow, you can actually rip it really hard. So yeah, it was fun. I'm looking forward for tomorrow and Sunday with the Elite Series. It's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of Milwaukee.
Is the Elite Series here too?
Yes.
Oh wow, big
Sunday.
Milwaukee weekend. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Milwaukee is easily top 5 track on this service.
Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go, getting this another win this season?
I'll just thank you guys for always putting up a show for us. I'll look back at the broadcast and see.
Well,
enjoy.
we appreciate that. We do our best, but when you're out to a 6.5 second lead there at the end, it's tough to keep the camera on you. So you fade back and make it a little bit more competitive for the guys behind you.
Yeah, I'll think about that.
Yeah, I'll think about that. Yeah, right, exactly. Well, we'll catch you later. Congratulations, and we'll see you tomorrow on the grid for the big IndyCar Championship race here for the 250 miler tomorrow.
Brackets. Yeah, thank you guys. Well, yeah, I forgot to say one thing.
Yeah.
I like the last couple of laps. I really thought I want to give credit to actually Liam. He's been stepping up a lot lately. He's really fast, and I think he deserves a chance at a bigger team. So really happy to see his progress.
All right, well, there you heard it. Liam surprised some drivers here, opened some eyes, and getting a shout out there in the champions interview. Well, congratulations, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Clindy. Liam maybe has a little bit of a smile on his face, getting shout out by the winner, despite running out of fuel, coming to the checkered flag and finishing in 7th. We're going to check real quick here if the points are ready. Not sure if they are or not.
I remember the first time I podiumed any race of note. It was the fixed race at Kansas when I outdueled Jacob Oster.
I remember that.
In the community Discord after that race, Jesper said, "Get Klendworth a seat." So,
yeah, and someone did something about that. So, well, the points are updated. So, yeah, Jesper, of course, has won the last 2 races at Michigan and Milwaukee. We're going to Iowa next. We'll show you the upcoming schedule here in just a second. So the standings have Liam as your leader with 127 points over Jesper with 102. So 25 points difference between first and second. Silvazzi, now, as we talked about, starting to string those finishes together, Clindy, now he's in third place in the championship, and that even is going to have more eyes on him about maybe getting that first win. And now he's in the possible talk for a championship very early in this season. Matty Sinclair, one of the drivers that you've helped and worked with over your time, he is now fourth in the championship. And Daniel Hesche, who started today in second, unfortunately, lost a couple of spots, but is still in fifth in the championship. So there's a lot of names that you expect at the top here in terms of Liam and Jesper, but names that are ascending to the top that we don't see very often that we're expecting now to see because they're putting a string of finishes together in the form of Silvazzi, Sinclair, and Hesche.
Yeah, absolutely. This league is brimming with young, new talent. A lot of up-and-comers here. I think Jesper's words for Liam are going to be applied widely across many of these open-wheel standouts in this field that you can see in the Iconic Series, really molding and shaping the stars of tomorrow.
Here is the remaining schedule for the Iconic Series Championship. Next week we go to Iowa. Then we take a week off. Then we will go to Legacy, Kentucky. Then in March it will be Indianapolis, Kansas, and proper Phoenix. In April we will go to Auto Club and Homestead. And then we will wrap up the season in round 11 in Chicagoland, Clindy's home there for the championship there. Let's look at the schedule for the IndyCar Championship. Tomorrow we will be here, same place, slightly different time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then we will move to Iowa Speedway after a week off. Then Montreal, then the month of May for the IndyCar Championship, but it'd be in the month of March for qualifying, and the 13th Indy 500 here in the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar Championship. And then we will wrap up March at Nashville, then April, Long Beach and Homestead, and then wrap up in May at Auto Club. That is your IndyCar Championship. All right, so I think that's about time to hand on over the rest of Friday to all you watching at home. Thank you very, very much for sticking around. And that's going to be it for today. Once again, your podium for the Milwaukee 175 from the Milwaukee Mile is Patrick Silvazzi getting third spot there on the last lap, outdoing Liam O'Sullivan just by having a few more drops of fuel left. That pays off big, bringing him home third. Teammate Strauss in second with a great call on pit road. And Jesper Orman, back-to-back wins here in the Iconic Series at Michigan, now at Milwaukee. Can he go 3 in a row at Iowa? Well, we'll find out. Join Clindy and myself again next week for round 4 of season 5 of the VOR Iconic Series as the teams and drivers head to our next to last short oval of the season at Iowa. Coverage, as always, begins approximately at 4 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 4:00 p.m. Eastern. Remember, it's a new season, and for the correct broadcast time in your area, find everything right here at youtube.com and just search out Velocity Online Racing. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support us with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought of tonight's race. And if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, most importantly, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of Velocity Online Racing's other iRacing programming, including action from their IndyCar Championship tomorrow, round 3 of season 13 of the VOR IndyCar Championship, as the IR18s will be right here at Milwaukee for 250 miles. Don't miss it. The VOR Iconic Series is brought to you by IFS Personal Financial Planning. IFS Personal Financial Planning specializes in helping their clients make the most of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over the course of their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for over 20 years, helping them navigate complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and the ever-changing legislative landscape. To learn more, contact Alexander Bonney at alex@ifspfp.com. That is ifspfp.com. and you'll find that link in the description, that email in the description, and you'll want to use it today. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with the Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on X and Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. For business inquiries, to learn more about Velocity Online Racing and what they do, visit velocityonlineracing.com, like them on Facebook or follow them on X. So for Klendy, everyone here at Velocity Online Racing, I'm Gary Godsoe saying to all, happy Friday, and thanks for watching. Until all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Iowa for the next race of the Velocity Online Racing Iconic Series. We'll see ya.